into our next match here, which is going to be AnBi Soul versus Mystic Axel. Ooh.
Yeah, so like I said before, this is a rematch of grand finals of the last big Levo, right? So
Yep.
I know AnBi studied the hell out of this set immediately afterwards. And I know he's done a lot of deep diving into the Axel matchup. So I think this will be really cool to see what kind of adjustments he's made, and if that's going to bear fruit, if it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, well, what do you think, Ryan, are like what are the big ticket neutral items for either of these characters in this matchup?
I mean, for Axel, it's basically mostly all the same in all the matchups. You have 2H and Renson, you have a little bit of 2P, a little bit of 5P, and of course the anti-airs, right? Those are the main tools. When Soul starts to get in, like right there, Far Slash becomes important as well. But for the actual zoning, you're looking at the big couple of common buttons. And it's really, I mean, what we're seeing right now is really what Axel's trying to do. He's just literally trying to not let Soul ever get started. And if you play really well, it is definitely doable. I mean, you can prevent Soul from ever getting in. The round start situation, like we see here, is scary because you obviously want to create space, and it's already a good spacing for Soul to try to make something happen, like we're seeing here. And this is what happens when Soul gets in.
He die immediately.
Yeah, what was that? Round start Far Slash 5H, and he got in, and that was the end of the round. So, it really can be kind of an all or nothing type of matchup where, you either keep Soul out the whole time or he gets in. And that's kind of the Axel life. Interesting that they both backdashed after that 5K.
Good backdash there to kind of try to outspace the 5S, because that's how you kind of wind up in the Soul Vortex.
Oh boy, here we go.
And now we're in the Soul Vortex.
Nice, yeah, jump over Gunflame, jump S, and you can see, you have plenty of time to see they did Gunflame, you just do Air Snail. Oh, didn't wall break. Really good positioning here for AnBi.
So I just saw someone do exclamation point comms on left in stream, and it said, "Say Jam and Tasty Steve. How are you doing, Steve?"
Which Steve am I?
Good question. AnBi's gonna take that first one.
Yeah, so after a really dominating first round where AnBi literally got nothing started, AnBi got something started in both rounds, and that was it. And I want to say, I want to give AnBi the benefit of the doubt there in that I think it was round 3, where I mentioned that he didn't break the wall. I have to think that was intentional, like we were talking about before. He did a full combo, and it ended just before the wall was about to stick. He got like the little pre-stick animation.
Yeah.
I have to think that was intentional. You really do not want to go back to mid-screen. No. Against Axel, and not only that, if you can super to get a knockdown, it's not as bad. But if you don't get the knockdown, my understanding, I haven't actually looked at this in detail, but the wall break, like round start, quote unquote round start distance, is not the same as the true round start distance. It's actually further. You start further away than an actual round start. That's my understanding. I haven't looked at it. That's what I've heard, and from my experience, it seems correct. So yeah, so if you're not getting the knockdown off the wall break, I think it is, it's pretty bad to go back to neutral against Axel. Because you really are like going back to neutral. It's not like round start.
Yeah, and I mean, Soul is a character who needs to get in, right? Like, that's how the matchup, dude, that was Sage and Fares. That is like how the Soul needs to play neutral. Because then when you get in the corner, you die.
Yeah, I love both of them there, though, what they were doing, because I think for a Mystic it is really important that you are patient, because, if he's gonna kill you when you're being patient like that, that's how he's gonna kill you, right? He's gotta throw you 3 times, right? And those are the kind of risks that I think you want Soul to be taking in the matchup. You don't want to be giving him just hits on staggers, you don't want to be giving him, like, quote-unquote free damage like that.
For sure, great YRC there from Mystic. Gonna be able to fight back with the amount of plus range he had. Did you see that jump S whiff before? I wonder if that's because AnBi started to run and Soul kind of gets low to the ground. Feels like it should have hit. Oh,
jeez.
Dude.
I mean, it looks like I mentioned at the beginning of the set. It looks like AnBi has definitely stepped up his game in this matchup. He's doing a lot of things really well.
Yeah, he's navigating the neutral. He's not letting himself get zoned. But I mean, we've seen it like I think at least twice so far in this bracket run alone that Mystic is a clutch player. So I'm interested to see if they're going to be able to just whip this around. It is definitely within their power to do so.
And taking a second to think about it, I like it too. So just to go back for a second on what I was talking about, when I said I like what both of them were doing, and I mentioned how Mystic was being patient. But on the other side, I love that AnBi actually did throw Mystic 3 times. Because a lot of Soul players, I think they get caught up in the staggers because they want that, they want that hit. But as a Soul player, you have to recognize if they are being patient and they're not getting opened up by the staggers, you have to throw them. You do. You have to throw them. Because the staggers are not going to work if you don't, set the precedent that you are willing to throw. Because that's what gets them to start to, get uncomfortable and squirm and starts to open them up for the staggers. So it's really important that AnBi recognized that and actually took that round by literally just throwing him 3 times.
Yeah, no, it's one of those most important fundamental FD, fighting game things, right, that you see good players do, where when they realize that someone is really just hunkering down, they will absolutely just start throwing you until you die, because, they recognize you're making the decision that getting hit is worse, and you're being a little too, almost mathematical with it.
Exactly. And more great defense here from Mystic. Staying patient, looking for the right opening, getting that 5K out there, closing out the round.
Got in. Ooh, that was a punish 6S, man.
Yeah, and from oh god, this is scary. Nice,
so scary.
Nice punish.
Ooh. You seen a new try and you seen the footsies happen?
Yeah, I mean that was a great whiff punish.
Time the JS hits. Nice yes
stagger
connect.
On the cherry. You can get a juggle off that, but you kind of gotta be.
Oh no.
Small drop.
I wonder if that was a drop or if he was just burst baiting. I actually don't know.
Wow, it looked like AnBi was trying to bait the YRC, but it still worked.
Jump back JSs, but for the jump back JS, I feel like Mystic ran forward, got 1 inch of space. Jump back JS was back in the corner, and now he's just stuck here again.
Yeah. God, whenever I see Axel do 5K 2D and the 2D whiffs, I get so scared.
Yeah.
That's another thing if you're playing against Axel that you should be ready for, because it does come up quite often actually. Because 5K just has such great range and such a good hitbox that it'll often stuff moves in their startup when the character is very far away, and it doesn't really have great Gatling options. So typically you're gonna see 2D. Well, I've started to just not even Gatling it a lot of the time when I'm challenging. I just do the 5K just to break up their offense and just do it raw.
Yeah, I think that's something that's coming up quite a bit in Strive, right? Where it's you have someone like Zato who genuinely gets nothing off of his 2Ps unless Eddie's already out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still very important for him to hit it to kind of fight back in the situations, like you were saying, just to break the offense, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because even if you don't get anything off of it.
I'm holding. Oh no! The wild throws are now coming out. Why
did he PRC?
I guess he PRC'd to get Oki, because Soul actually doesn't get fantastic Oki off wild throw.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just surprised. I've seen more Souls just do 6H after that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is actually a chance for Mystic.
Big chance, but he does not have a lot of life. This pressure has got to be airtight. He's got to let no room for AnBi to get in.
I mean, he can definitely do it. He can. Axel can definitely keep. We've seen it in a couple of rounds already. Axel can keep Soul out without getting touched.
The Guile theme playing in his head. Is this the comeback he needs
to
stay alive?
Yeah, and the RC, beautiful. Oh, not quite enough? Okay.
Dude, that was so sick.
Beautiful. The PRC drift back. Absolutely beautiful. Scary. Patience. See, and this is what I'm talking about. AnBi doesn't want to throw because it's not the reward you want, but, sometimes you got to take what the opponent is giving you. Oh my god, he's dead, I think. Oh, he dropped it.
Yeah, I looked at that risk and I was like, wait, yeah, I think he's actually dead.
Yeah, I think he could have killed.
Some of you in chat may be like, surely they're exaggerating. No.
Yeah, no.
No,
I think he could have killed. Alright, well, Mystic getting comfortable here. Setting up the zoning. Oh, that's punishable. Beautiful. See, and that's exactly the kind of stuff that I expected to see from AnBi, which is what I was talking about, in between some of the other sets, where a lot of players don't have the instinct yet. They're not ready. They don't have the knowledge or the instinct to punish Snail on block or, punish command grab when they jump it. but I mentioned AnBi went deep in the lab after the last big LEVO when he lost to Mystic, and studied the hell out of this matchup. Is he dead? Yeah, let's see. He studied the hell out of this matchup. So those types of you know, that's like a how can I phrase this? It's just like a distinct scenario that's just gonna happen, right? Like I block Snail, this is what I do, right? There's no guesswork, there's no reading involved. It's just like this is the punish, you know? And that's exactly the kind of stuff that I would expect for sure AnBi to be comfortable with at this point.
Yeah, and Mystic is on his last legs now, Ryan. Just while you were saying that, is this gonna be enough? No, he bounces out of the corner.
Oh, guess on the 2S it doesn't work, but he doesn't get whip punished. Nice break, finally reads that the throw is coming. Maybe a little bit too obvious on the low life, but there it is again, and AnBi takes it. I'm sure he is thrilled with that result.
Dude, I mean, sometimes the fastest way to your opponent is a straight line. None of this fancy bandit bringer nonsense. He just ran directly at him.
Yep.